guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a Ninja CREAMI review. And let me start out by saying that the second that Ninja dropped this machine, the Ninja CREAMI Deluxe, okay, every single time I posted a smoothie or a recipe, somebody was asking me about reviewing the Ninja CREAMI. Now, I am a ride or die Ninja product, okay? I love my Ninja blender, the little bullet. I've had both of those things forever. And overall, I feel like Ninja typically produces really high quality products. But actually, I think the CREAMI has been one of those things that has been blowing up on TikTok. You have like 50% of people being like, I absolutely love it. It's the best thing I ever invested in. And then you have 50% of people, this is a guess, saying that it's not worth it and they don't know if they want to pull the plug. And I was one of those people. I was on the other side being like, I don't understand because I can make very, very thick smoothies. And if you have not seen any of my smoothie recipes on my Instagram, go check those out. They're in my Reels section. I literally have so many awesome smoothie recipes, but I was like, do I really need this? Like, is this one of those things that's gonna be really cool in the moment and then it's gonna kind of lose its spark and no one's gonna use it anymore and it's gonna collect dust in a cabinet? I did, in fact, get it to review. And I'm gonna go over everything, my thoughts, my first impressions. We're gonna also do a live blending so you can see how it works, the different settings. We're gonna go over everything. So if you are on the fence about buying a Ninja CREAMI Deluxe, I will say do not have the Deluxe. This is just the regular one, so keep that in mind. But this video is going to cover all of the bases. It is not sponsored. I purchased it with my own money, so let's get on into it. Right off the bat, what you need to know is the Ninja CREAMI, this is the 7-in-1 ice cream maker, has 7 functions and each pint holds 2 cups. And the Ninja CREAMI Deluxe, that one has 11 functions and each little cup or pint holds 3 cups. So it's a little bit larger, you can do a little bit more. I think that if you are really gonna commit to making ice creams and sorbets and things like that, maybe the Deluxe would be better. I just felt like for me, with what I was going to be using it for, I didn't think it was necessary. I also wanna say that my best friend has the Deluxe, and she did tell me that it was so incredibly loud, like unbearably loud. And so when I got this, I was expecting it to be just as bad. And I will say the sound is really not as like horrific as I expected it to be. It's just kind of like a blender, okay? With your Ninja CREAMI, you are going to get 2 of these little pints with the lids on them. And then this is what we're going to be putting the pints in to spin and create our light ice cream. Now, I personally prefer the light ice cream setting on this machine. I've tried the regular ice cream setting before and I just felt that it came out a little bit too icy. So right off the bat, let's talk about that because I think that's the biggest complaint that I've been seeing when I was doing my research before buying it, is that the consistency of the actual ice cream does vary greatly depending on what you're putting in it. So if you just Google like Ninja CREAMI recipes, sometimes you'll see them with Fairlife milk or whole milk. A side note, if you're using anything with higher fat content, it's going to make it more creamy, and then the lower fat content is gonna be less creamy. Some of them will have almond milk, Fairlife milk, full fat milk, 2%, whatever it is. But depending on the ratios, depending on the type of milk, depending on the protein, if you use yogurt, banana, there are so many different varieties that you can do, and each one is gonna yield a slightly different result. So right off the bat, I think for somebody that really likes consistency, you're not gonna have a very consistent base if you're not using the exact same ratios, products, types of full fat milk, so on and so forth, you know? I will say that like one thing that could be considered a con or maybe just something to look out for is that you will have to do quite a bit of trial and error. At least I did, and a lot of people that I've been researching had to as well. So let's just go ahead and dive right into the mix and what I have here. So far, what I have discovered, using about half a banana and 75 grams of yogurt, Greek yogurt, tends to make a much thicker base. Now, I'm gonna show you up close so you can kind of see this top section, and it is separated. This, if it looks like this when you're about to put it in the CREAMI, it's gonna be a little icy. So what I have found to be the best is you want to put your little pint under some hot water, for like 2 minutes and make sure that all of the ice around the top edge is gone. For those of you who are not familiar with the Ninja CREAMI and why those pints are frozen, this is something that I feel is not gonna be good for instant gratification people. So when you are making your base, the first thing that you have to do is choose your milk, choose whatever, you know, things you want to put in it, yogurt, banana, protein powder, whatever. And you have to actually blend that to be a fully liquid consistency before pouring it into these pints to freeze for 24 hours. Some people say that you don't need to do the 24 hours. I've tried it around 12 and the consistency was too soft for me, but you do have to freeze those pints for 24 hours. I also learned a little hack to take the lid off so it doesn't create that little peak in the pint because that makes it more icy. And I will say that does work. So again, could it be a con? Maybe, but you do have to put quite a bit of effort into this before getting the result that's worth it. At least in my opinion, right? Like if you're just coming home from the gym and you want a smoothie and you want to throw things in your blender and have a protein smoothie, this is not the machine for you. This, I think, is something that is really good for people who have like really heavy sweet tooths and want to make their own ice cream at home and don't want to struggle with like eating a whole pint of ice cream at once. They want to make a healthier version of ice cream and they're going to commit to creating these recipes and creations and things like that because the sorbets are really awesome. I think the protein ice cream is a really, really cool way to get high protein pints that have way better macros than like a Halo Top, for example. I'm gonna pop up here what I did for this pint that I'm gonna blend for you today on camera. I did 240 milliliters of fat-free Fairlife milk, a scoop of Driven Vanilla Iso Drive, 75 grams of Greek yogurt, half a banana, some honey, and a little bit of sea salt. Now that is gonna give you a ton of protein with very minimal fat and just a little bit of carbs because of the banana and the yogurt. You can do it without the banana and yogurt. I will say from what I've experienced so far, I did not like the consistency of that. I think adding banana and yogurt really, really does help. Oh, oh gosh, that kind of liquefied it a little bit too much, whoopsies. After you have run it under hot water, you're going to take your pint and put it inside of the processing lid. Gonna want to align the lock so, click it on, and then we're gonna put it right in here. Click it in, spin it up, and we are going to put it on light ice cream. Press this little button here, and we're gonna remove it. And I'm gonna show you what this looks like after the very first spin. So, this consistency is really, really nice. Of course, you know, I melted a little bit because of the ice. First round of consistency is really nice, although I will say this is definitely more like Froyo, and I have gotten my smoothies this consistency for sure. So I mixed it up a little bit, took some off the middle, and I'm gonna re-spin it because I want it to be a little bit thicker. A little bit better on the consistency, but I am gonna do a little bit of a mix in because I want the pretzels in there. So I'm gonna throw these in from Trader Joe's. And you can just put them like right in the middle and you just wanna push them down. This is not the best consistency I've ever gotten, to be honest with you. I think I ran it under hot water for too long. We're gonna do the mix in. So, mix in function. Oh. Okay, so some of them broke and some of them didn't. Usually when I do the mix-in function, it breaks them up really thin and it kind of just like spreads them really, really like finely throughout the ice cream. Whereas if you like more chunks, I would recommend just mashing whatever it is in yourself. This whole pint of ice cream, I will pop up the macros on the screen for you here so you can see. Without the mix-in is 44 grams of protein, only 1 gram of fat, and 26 grams of carbs. And then I put in those pretzels, dark chocolate pretzels, and those are 3 protein, 8 fat, and 19 carbs. So, you know, comparatively, this is a very high protein pint, way higher than you'll find for like the regular protein ice creams like Halo Top or anything like that. Kind of disappointed, but actually this kind of shows my slight dissatisfaction with the CREAMI because this consistency is 100% just like my smoothies that I make. if you use a bunch of ice and you have a good blender, you can get a consistency like a Wendy's Frosty. I struggle is the ice cream setting. When I use the ice cream setting for this exact same base, it does get icy and there are chunks on the bottom, even with putting it under hot water, which is why today I did it for extra long under the hot water, and then it's too thin. It's too not ice cream-like for me. I mean, this, if it always comes out this way when you do it under hot water, I feel like it's really not that much better than doing it in a blender with ice. But you do have other settings on here, right? You have the sorbet setting, you have the milkshake setting, the smoothie bowl setting. I don't know how the smoothie bowl would be any different than this, to be honest with you. Ice cream, light ice cream, and gelato. I've not done the gelato one, but I think for a lot of us that are looking for pints of ice cream, that's probably what you would use, either the ice cream or the light ice cream function, unless you're doing a fruit-based one and you want to do sorbet, which those do look pretty good, but like I'm just not really a sorbet person, right? So my issue with it is that it takes a lot of effort from coming up with a recipe that has a good base, trying different things, freezing it for 24 hours, blending it multiple times, then doing the mix-ins. You have to be committed. You have to go into this knowing that you're going to be doing it as like a science experiment, you know, because like this is not worth it to me. I'm gonna eat it anyway because like it costs. I feel like you need to like master the ratios to the gram, and if you're off just by a little bit, it can change the entire thing. You know, convenience factor, is it easier to just open your freezer and get a pint of ice cream? Sure. Is it more cost efficient? That's where you have to ask yourself, you know, because like for me, I went out and bought all the ingredients and all the things, and then I tried the Jell-O packets, which also I didn't like. A lot of people put sugar-free Jell-O mix and cheesecake, like those kinds of flavors in them. I did not like the way that came out. And so I'm spending all this money trying, where like I think that it probably would be cheaper to just buy a Halo Top ice cream, you know? Really thought that it was gonna be something that I would use like all the time, but I really don't think that that's the case. So I kind of have like a slightly disheartening feeling about it. I know everyone was expecting me to like hype this up and make all these creations, but like, I don't know. I personally don't know that it's something I'm going to use all the time. I think for special occasions and to try to make fun creations, definitely. But do you like need it? I don't know. I don't think that I needed it. And that's coming from me. So that's saying something, because I be buying kitchen gadgets and stuff like that all the time and feel like I need everything. And this is really just one of those things that I feel like you truly can live without, because you can make a very similar consistency with a blender. Not all the time, especially if you're gonna do like full fat, you know, like ice cream, legitimate ice cream creations. But like I said in the beginning, I don't think that that's why a lot of us are buying this. I think we're trying to create high protein, a little bit healthier recipes for ice cream lovers, you know? Now I will say there was no ice on this one. So underneath the hot water for like 2 minutes worked, but too thin. I'm gonna keep playing around with it though. I haven't fully given up on it. We're gonna keep trying. If you have any tips, let me know in the comments. I feel like this is probably a very underwhelming video, so I apologize, but that's what we got going for us today. So let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree, leave me a comment down below, and maybe I will try the deluxe version next. Maybe the deluxe version is better, I don't know. But that's all I have for you on this Monday, because I just wanna eat my little ice cream and, you know, come up with some new recipes. So I'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and click subscribe so you never miss Monday with Manders.